Well, good morning, AT&T. How are you? You know, I always like to know something about the audiences that I speak to. I've spoken all over the world, but I love being here in Huntington Beach, California. And I'm so excited because I know at least one thing about you today, and that is you are winners. Am I right? You are winners. You don't get to come here unless you're a winner. Am I right? Awesome. Well, we've got about 40 minutes here to talk about something that I am extremely passionate about. 31 years ago, I graduated from college. Prior to college, I had a crazy upbringing, and I don't have the time to go into the whole thing, but I'll give you the overview. My dad died when I was 4 years old, and that began a downward spiral in my life. My mom had to sell the house. We lived in a big, beautiful house, but my dad was severely underinsured, so she had to sell the house because she couldn't afford the massive $400 a month mortgage payment. And so I was raised by a single mom, but I began to kind of get angry that my dad had died and sort of my lot in life. And long story short, ended up living in 28 homes, went to 11 different schools, shipped off to live with relatives twice in my life, began drugs in the 6th grade, started betting the horses in the 6th grade. I mean, can you tell I was going in the wrong direction? But somewhere in my senior year, I kind of figured out, you know what? I want success in my life. I don't want this kind of crazy life that I was going down, always in trouble in school. In 10th grade, I got 47 written referrals to the principal's office. That's one every 4 days. That's in triplicate. One to the teacher, one to the principal, one to mom. 47 written referrals. And at some point, I kind of realized that I didn't want this in my life. I wanted what everybody wants. And so I decided that I was going to become successful. And I decided that I was going to achieve the things that I wanted to achieve. Now, here's what I've learned studying successful people over the last 31 years. I've understood that everybody wants the same thing. Now, you might say, wait a minute, Chris, that's impossible. But it really is true, and I want to show you by a show of hands. So when I ask you this question, if this is true about you, I want to show you that everybody essentially wants the same things. And then I want to ask a question, then I want to give you some thoughts to think about as we go forth through the rest of the day. So here's the first question to prove that everybody essentially wants the same thing. How many of you would like to have, by a show of hands, how many of you would like to have $1 million in your bank account? Show of hands. Everybody. Everybody, right? How many of you would like to find a person to share your life with and enjoy a great love with, right? Everybody. Yeah, nobody says, oh, I just hope I find somebody horrible and that's my life in misery. How many of you would like to have your children grow up to be productive members of society and have a better life? Everybody. Nobody says, hey, I just hope little Johnny grows up and goes to prison. No, nobody wants that. How many of you would like to live a lifelong, physically vibrant life to a ripe old age? Yep, nobody says, hey, I hope I end up, dying early. Everybody wants the same thing. They want to find love. They want to have financial security. They want to have their children do better than them. And they want to live a long, happy, healthy life, right? Can we agree upon that everybody wants those things? Now, we live in a country, this is fascinating to me, we live in a country where you can do exactly what you want to do. So let's start asking ourselves some questions. Everybody wants the same thing. You can do anything you want to do, and yet some people achieve it and some people don't. But we have to ask ourselves, why is it in this world that some people succeed and other people don't? What are the secrets of successful people? Because you can do whatever you want, and everybody wants the same thing. Anybody here accidentally working for AT&T? Like one day you just walked in, you had a swipe card, you swiped and walked in, you started taking phone calls? We choose where we work, right? Any of you accidentally married, by the way? Here with your accidentals? I mean, one guy's like, well, that one night in Vegas, that was a little weird. No, you pick the person, you woo the person, you date the person, you marry the person. You don't just accidentally wake up, wow, there's a ring on my finger, that's weird. Everybody wants the same thing. Anybody can do whatever it is they want. Some people do it, some people don't. So the question is, what's the difference? I want to share with you a few things that I really truly believe is the difference between successful people and unsuccessful people. Now, first of all, let me define something. Success. The default answer of what is success is money, right? If I said to you, oh, I know this very successful person, you might think, oh, big fancy car, big fancy house, lots of money in the bank. And financial security is great, and it is a part of success. But when I speak of success, I mean whole life success. I mean financial security, I mean healthy relationships, healthy body, making a difference, an impact in the world. And I know that all of you are saying, yeah, that's what I want. And you're already doing such amazing things. But I want to share with you a few thoughts that I've seen as I've worked with billionaires, successful CEOs, small business owners, athletes over the last 30-something years. And I've noticed that there's something common amongst the people who succeed in life versus those who constantly struggle. And don't we know those people that just constantly struggle? They're just like every post on Facebook is, oh, my life is horrible. And you're just like, how does one person go through so much? The first one is that I believe that successful people choose to be successful. They make a choice. I really honestly believe that wherever we are today is the sum of the choices we've made. I believe that you chose to be here because just like that one gentleman said on the video, he chooses to look at every single phone call and make that something, right? Everything, what we weigh, what our health is, the state of our marriage, the amount of money that we have, every single thing we have is because we've chosen. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, no, I don't like that. A lot of people don't like that. They don't like taking responsibility for things. Unsuccessful people don't like taking responsibility for things. They're always a victim. They always say it's somebody else's fault.